we go. All right, cool. And so how do we do it? First of all, we have to start, and I want you guys to know, I don't ever want you to set another goal as long as you're alive. No more goals. Like, get rid of them. Like, make the word goal taboo, like some other four-letter words that we know. You know, we know those four-letter words. People say, excuse my French, and it's really not French, right? But I want you never to set another goal to the day you die. Never. It's the worst thing you can do is set a goal. And so in our new life, some of us have been with us. Is Simone here? I haven't seen Simone, right? Is what we do now is we set outcomes. Outcomes. Big difference between goals and outcomes. Big difference. Big difference. And I want you to know that only 34% of people in the world, guys, actually set outcomes. And just out of the 34%, just think in America, there's 300 million people. So you got 30% of those, 34% of those people that were written goals. Now, written goals, 34% of the population. And of that 34%, only 20% actually achieve them. So now we're down to about 6.5% of every person on the planet. That's unbelievable when I started researching this type of information, finding out that 5% is really a real number. So, you know, instead of asking like, why don't people write down goals or outcomes, and, you know, why don't we want to set goals anymore? I would just say, get your notes out, because I want to make sure, because I like to maximize time, and Juanita likes me to finish these meetings faster, is you're going to be in the top 5% of the people who actually have written goals and execute, right? So what I'm getting ready to share with you, I want you guys to understand that it has nothing to do with how old you are. I'm 55. It has nothing to do with your race. Nothing to do about how you grew up, if you're a male or female, what type of family you grew up in, whether your parents were smart, college, high school dropouts, never went to school, it doesn't matter, right? What I'm getting ready to share with you is just a step approach, and hopefully what it'll do for you guys is help you stay focused on a daily basis. So let's go over the poll. 88% of you guys filled out my poll. Guess what? Let's go over the numbers. It says, do you have written outcomes in the next 30 days? And 60% said yes, 40% says no, right? About 60-40. Do you have a written daily schedule? 73% said yes, they do. And of course, you guys can do the math on the other 40% that said no. 27% said no. It says, what percent of your written outcomes do you actually complete, have you completed in the past 90 days? Okay, one person didn't do anything, no problem. Majority, the second group, 33% accomplished 1% to 30%. 40% did 50%, 31 to 50%. And then 13% did 51 to 70%. 13%. Keep that number in your head. And then 70%, who did 70% or more, was only 7% of the people. Pretty status quo on what the numbers are across the country, right? So why there's, you know, I did a training before, maybe a couple of years ago for you guys, that said, why do 87% of realtors fail? And if you see, 51% to 70% are 13%. I didn't make this up. You guys filled this out, and hopefully we're honest. Only 13% actually achieve 50 to 70%. So the numbers are what they are. That's why only 10% of realtors, salespeople in America make $100,000 or more. But if you ask a person that is in sales, how much money do they want to make? I would tell you 90% says 6 figures. Now, we don't know if that 6 figures is 100,000 or 900,000. We don't know. But these numbers, when they start to line up, you can see, and you can kind of see that 13% is about accurate. So the goal is to be in the top 10%. There was one person who had 70% or more. Hallelujah to you. But that gives you something to kind of work towards. Because now you see, just based on numbers, because numbers don't lie, is what? Whatever you write down, number one, remember this. Whatever you see, you remember. Whatever you hear, you'll repeat. Whatever you write down gets done, right? Gets done. And if we just go from 30% to and up, it's about 53 60 53 plus 7 is 60% of you guys are accomplishing at least 30% of your goals. I want you to know you're doing better than 95% of the people in America. Okay. Not sure how that makes you feel, but you're in the top 5% of people in America who actually achieve their outcomes. Right now, obviously, we want to get to the higher numbers, and so let's talk about how to do that. All right, so let me share my other screen back with you guys. You guys doing okay? Give me a thumbs up. Great, awesome. Bye-bye, little Anthony. Let me see over here. Boom. Boom. You guys see Tony Robbins?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank y'all. That was a powerful yes. I loved it.